Hey, what's going on, everybody? You are listening to the Manny Bothans is Primary podcast. I am Manny Bothans, and we are back. Oh yeah, we took some time off with Vegas and stuff happening, but we're back in it, and we're gonna go ahead and go right into intros. We'll start off at the top, and that would be you, Grandma. Grandma. Hmm. Okay, I guess we'll do him last. Spectre.
I am Spectre, formerly of Manifesto Alliance. I am currently waiting on tests to get around to yay or nay on my application. So could you get on that, Dreadit? Because I heard you're recruiting.
Yeah, that would be newsworthy if, Dreadit doesn't take a recruit. Then is Dreadit really recruiting?
It's a good question.
Indeed. Grandma, are you back? His silence speaks volumes. I'll introduce myself. I am Manny Bothans, host of the Manny Bothans' Primary podcast, line member of Merrick Enterprises with Just Let It Happen Alliance, and my alt, Money Bothans, is the CEO of the loosely organized collective of outcasts, who is currently looking to recruit every warm body who can sit in front of a keyboard. So, yeah, if you're looking for a corp, Loco's recruiting. Um, and then we got Grim and the Mad here, who should introduce himself anytime now.
He fell asleep at the keyboard. I'm calling it now.
Man,
I told you, fell asleep at the keyboard.
let's see if we can't get him poked awake here.
I'm going to apologize because apparently everybody around me is deciding to be loud today. So if you can hear that, nothing I can do.
It's pissing rain here.
There he is.
Sorry, I had to chase another trash can.
Ah, okay. Well, Spectre and I have done our intros. It's your turn, Grandma.
I'm Grim of the Med, and I have tired legs.
Oh, I feel your pain there. I have tired everything. I pushed a van a block and a half yesterday.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Fortunately, I was getting paid to do it at the time.
Now, even if you're getting paid, did that make it worth it?
No, not really. I was being paid through Lyft.
Oh boy.
Yeah, my Lyft ride request became roadside assistance.
We're Lyft, not AAA, goddamn.
At least I got a tip. It was all good. 10 out of 10 would do again. Besides, I can take the next day off and nobody's going to get mad at me except my wife. And as we know from previous podcasts, she's just so darn cute when she's mad.
That's a good way to end up buried under a bridge.
That's no joke.
Of course, she's looking very cute, looking over my shoulder right now.
She's just so cute when she's mad. And a week later, anybody seen Manny this week?
Oh man. So
I'm just letting you know. I want your stuff if she does end up killing you.
no, unfortunately, my stuff is already willed to my maid of honor, who also plays Eve. I actually got her into it. It's kind of sad. Her friends will play Eve with me, but she won't.
Well, that's I don't even know what to call it anymore.
Unsurprising.
I guess that works. I don't know.
I guess I just have that animal magnetism, and it doesn't work on her since I already snagged her. That's what I'm going to call it, and I'm going to leave it there. Anyway, in other news, E-Vegas was the thing. Who was there? I know I wasn't, but I got to see all the goodness. Anybody here was there?
I was not. My CEO at the time was there. He enjoyed it. He's actually heard on the he's actually heard during a Fozzie presentation on camera, literally squeeing. I'm telling you, he had a literal squee moment, and it was so loud the cameras that weren't near him picked it up.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have to find out. Which presentation?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to ask him. I'll send him a message on Mumble. Hang on.
I'm just now getting around to watching the videos.
Yeah, I was doing some of that today too. For those who are watching live, I do apologize for the video quality. For some reason, it's leaving my computer at like 17 frames a second. I'm gonna have to figure that out later.
You use OBS.
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Have you tried kicking it, sir? I'll after this episode, I'll go over settings with you because I use OBS as well.
Well, nothing's changed with my settings. That's the thing. I was doing 30 frames, no problem, weeks ago, but for some reason my internet connection is acting up.
Well, okay, then maybe it's all the porn you're downloading. You should probably stop that.
Who downloads porn nowadays?
Well, apparently you, if you're having problems with your freaking internet.
No, you stream it.
Yeah, there's a host of sites for that.
Yeah, seriously, get with the times. Downloading porn. Pfft, I haven't done
He
that
says-
since 2000.
He says Structures Roundtable asking about the format of the copy pasta of the new Moon Prober.
Oh my god, I do think I remember hearing that.
I think he asked a question and they were I think he asked a question and Fozzie responded and he squeed. Which is in and of itself kind of sad.
Oh man. All right, so we'll talk a little bit about what went down at E-Vegas because there are some things to talk about. First and foremost, something that just really immediately stuck out to me during that trailer for the feature release, betting on duels. Who else besides me is gonna go and shit up Cheetah 4-4 with that stuff?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah, nothing better than killing noobs and taking their risk while you do it.
I'm terrified to be in Jita. Why would I want to be there?
Cheetah's fun.
Yeah.
Cheetah is terrifying.
How else do you think it's fun? It's like a horror movie, only you get to blow people up.
Precisely.
I had like 4 guys in tornadoes attempt to suicide gank my Kronos on the Jita undock. It was great.
Well, see, there you go. Entertaining times in Cheetah 4-4. Why would you ever not want to go there?
I mean, that Kronos was specifically set up with like 80% minimum resistances and can rep like 90% of its armor every 5 seconds. So,
Damn, that's some fucking beastly rep.
Exile and his Klepians, man. I'm telling you that I don't take that pod out of low sec. Like low sec is as dangerous as it goes for me.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go from low sec to null sec to see if I can find a fight. This is probably gonna go poorly.
Just go to manifesto space. It's not like you'll have anything to be worried about.
Well, let's see. I went from high sec to low sec. Now I'm in low sec from null sec, and we're looking at the same 3 jump stretch.
Nice.
So
Should find some wormholes. Unless we're in wormholes.
And Grima placed a bounty on me.
That's about the correct response.
Oh, jeez. This is gonna be awesome. He already knows this is gonna go poorly.
It's incentive for people to hunt you down.
Oh, yes. Because I have that
Let's
big
increase that incentive.
We have that big, scary 250,000 ISK bounty on my head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, getting slightly more. Oh, wow. Now we're up to 5 mil. Now I'm super popular.
Just go into
Oh,
Tama,
boy.
lose it on the
Slasher,
North Gate.
Osprey, Ferox slept near Phobos. Yeah.
Do it. Take them all on.
I'm in a worm, and they're 1,000 kilometers off.
That means that you'll get out before they can get to you.
Yeah.
Of course they'll follow
I'm
you.
just going gate to gate, and I'm in I'm in next death territory. Awesome.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Oh, these are my old stomping grounds. I used to live around here.
Old stomping grounds, that's the thing.
Still under the same management.
But will it be later on? That's the question right now. And now my fucking cat is outside my door, running around like a fucking lunatic.
Get it, meow.
I swear to God, it's like a never-ending, hey, let's see if we can be as loud as possible. Manny, can you link me to your podcast? Because apparently my friend wants to watch now that I've outed the fact that he literally squeezes. Actually, I've got it.
Oh, damn. I just typed it out.
You typed it out?
Yeah.
That's kind of silly, typing it out. Get with the times, yo. Copy and paste.
Well, I don't have my own stream pulled up that way. I'm in the dashboard. And, no, I'm not giving links to that out.
That is fair. That is actually very, very, very fair. So what shall we talk about?
Well, let's talk about these. Let's talk about this new PvE content that's coming out. So first off, we've got the Garista's shipyards that are going to be coming out not only in northern Nullsec, but they're also going to be coming out in Lowsec too.
Which is actually kind of interesting that they're going to do it in Lowsec, because Lowsec has been, they've been pining for some kind of buff. And it's good that they're actually getting one now, because they have desperately needed one, I would agree. Having lived in Lowsec, the only people that are in Lowsec are pirates and level 5 missioners. And those really aren't mutually exclusive.
Now, there is a caveat to the low-sec outposts. There will be engineering complexes out there in low-sec. There will always at least be one. But it's not going to drop any Titan BPCs. So you can just give up on that if you're in low-sec.
Does it really matter, though? Because I think the Garistas Fax is going to be really popular. And even the what's it called? The Dread is going to be... It's going to be terrifying.
Oh,
You're talking about a Phoenix with a fighter bay.
A Phoenix with a fighter bay that has double hit point damage fighters.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you get, what is it, like one or two bays. That's Bond, by the way. He's the one who literally squeed. So yeah, you're going to get a full fighter bay of light fighters. Now, the question is that going to be competent for doing, sites in Nullsec?
I don't know if it's going to be competent for doing sites. However, that being said, it should be more than enough to totally dread bomb some shit.
Yeah, but I feel like, and this is the problem. Like, if you look at the what's the vehement. If you look at the vehement, nobody really uses it for dread bombing, even though the DPS in theory should be absolutely freaking amazing.
That's the thing, that the Vehement has its damage all coming from one source. Your
Right.
Garista's Dreadnought is going to have multi-sourced damage, so you either have to focus on either killing the Dreadnought or defanging its fighters, which are beefier and more and just more everything. And if you're jumping in with a dread bomb of, 50 Garista dreadnoughts, you have 50 wings of fighters that are doing the work of 100 wings of fighters, and oh yeah, you also have a dread fleet.
Right, but I feel like, and this is one of those things, dread bombs are becoming less common even against supers. In general, I'm not saying that they're completely done. I definitely, it's definitely noticeable that the dread bombs are becoming less and less powerful, or
Well, against
really
super fleets, I can
common.
see that. In fact, Bond just brought this up. Um, Yinton did an excellent piece on this on YouTube not too long ago, where he explains why dread bombs don't do well against super fleets. It's because it's very, very difficult to break through the logistics, and you have to make the choice: either break through the super or break through the logistics, and it's a losing choice either way. But
Right.
with these Garista dreadnoughts, I could see maybe some of that changing depending on maybe, well,
Availability.
availability, yes, but also just the sheer damage output.
Right. I mean, that's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be locked into thermal and kinetic for missiles. We already know that. It follows the same Garista, the whole Garista concept. So we know that's going to be a thing. The question is, are they going to be as expensive to make as the Vehement is? If so, then you're not going to have, a huge amount of the whatever it's called running around out there. You're simply not going to have it. The demand is going to be far higher than the supply.
I can see that in the short term, yes. When they
Now
come
that
out,
being said, that being said, NC dot and whatnot, they could, Horde could be like, you know what, we're gonna get a bunch of, we're gonna do our thing up north, and we're gonna get all these dreads, and there we go, and everybody's happy. And they could theoretically pump them out depending on how often they kill a Sodio, and how and what the respawn rate is. That's really the only thing I can think of. But the supply, you're not seeing a lot of Chamoshes and whatnot out there right now. So
well, yeah, no, you don't see a lot of them out there because they're still relatively new. At the rate the BPCs are being released, it's going to take a while. A good long while. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes at least a year or two before these types of doctrines really take off. But mark
and
my words, one day they will.
I think they will, but I think they're going to have their, like, the requirements to make them reduce significantly. Once again, it's not like, hey, I go and buy BPCs that are seated on market to get a Phoenix or whatnot. This is an issue of, it's the demand is far greater than the supply right now, and until CCP addresses that issue, it's not going to be as common as we would like.
I don't really see this as an issue CCP will address. Really, it's just an issue that time will address. I mean, sure, they could up the drop rate of the BPCs, but other than that, there isn't really much to be done. Reducing the build cost is surely going to bring the price down, but reducing the build cost only fixes a symptom of the problem. The real problem itself is the rarity of the blueprints.
Right.
But trust and believe, a year or two from now, when those blueprints are slightly more common, and we've got more of those things in the cooker or already cooked and just waiting, shit's gonna be real, man. I can't wait. But that's just one of the many things they went over at eVegas. We've also got the forward operating bases. Now, I'm not entirely sure what else other than just straight up ISK rewards are going to be offered as a reward for the forward operating bases, but I'm thinking of them as like Incursions 2.0 because not only is there, new content and new AI for this content, it's going to make it more difficult, but you've also got the consequences of not doing the content, which I find absolutely amazing. So basically, the Guristas and the Blood Raiders are going to be splitting high sec right down the middle, and they're going to be deploying these forward operating bases. Now, after a few days, if nobody does anything to any of these forward operating bases, the pirates are going to go make their own content, and they might be making this content at your expense in high security space. And oh my god, if I can just get a log of the tears people shed to NPCs, that would just make my life complete.
It would be pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
They will be targeting players who have bad standings with them. They're going to be targeting vulnerable players, players in transport ships and things like that. They're going to be targeting vulnerable structures. So if you do not take care of this pirate menace, it will eventually come knocking on your door with a fucking battering ram. And it's going to be awesome.
Could you imagine if nobody handles that and it spawns in an incursion area?
It would be like a perfect storm of NPCs up your asshole.
I would. Oh,
It would definitely be unpleasant.
that would be very painful for you. Like I'm just. I kind of want to see it. Like I want the first fob. I wanted to completely annihilate like a TVP fleet and just the tears that will be on the forums when that happens. It'll be absolutely freaking amazing.
Somebody set the Reddit reminder function right now.
Yeah.
1 week from now, we're gonna read tears and
I'm
eat
hoping we do.
popcorn.
I am really hoping we do. It's something that's been needed for a while because incursions by themselves have been far too easy and far too lucrative in high sec, and anything that could throw a wrench into it, I like it. It's the possibility of these fleets will either have to run it and be cognizant of the fact that at any point a Garista's fleet could show up and be like, hey, how's it going? Enjoy the pods and insurance payouts. Or they don't run the incursions at all and they're not making money.
Oh god. That would be an active problem that an encouraging group would have to solve before they could run their incursions.
It would be, and I think they've been complaining about the they've been complaining about ISK faucets for the longest time. This may be a great way to take care of arguably the most compromising ISK faucet we have, and that is high sec incursions. Also, I'll make the point that who doesn't have bad pirate standings, your responsive market traders, nobody gives a shit about them because they don't undock to begin with.
Yeah, I know. I was just being a smartass. You know me. I like to be facetious from time to time.
I know. I actually have to get in touch with a previous member of my corporation, or a member of my previous corporation, because I need to go over the market trading things with him.
Wow, I've been flying around Nullsec this whole time. That one fleet I saw 1K off a gate is the only folks I've seen out here.
Head on down to what's it called, Manifesto Space, Wicked Creek. You'll either get blobbed to death or you'll get some easy kills.
Too much work. I'm gonna go to Tama. There's always a
fair enough.
Tama.
There's always a fucking rape in Tama. That's exactly what it is too.
Hey, I've been on the giving side of that dicking from time to time.
So have I. I was in Galente Militia for a bit.
I was in Calmill while I was doing it.
Oh, I remember being in Calmill.
Yeah, I was in Calmill while Galente Militia was holding the system, so I just ran through all the novice plexes with my worm, just going, "Come at me, bros." And some folks would come at me and they'd die gloriously in 2v1 engagements where I fucking win, and sometimes they'd be flying Republic Fleet Firetails and I would curse at my screen.
I think what's going to be real interesting is how it plays out in nullsec and whatnot. Because fobs are only high sec, aren't they?
Yeah, fobs are only high sec.
That actually kind of makes sense then. Okay, so they're not going to play out well. And question answered.
Now, that's not the only piece of content that high sec's getting. They're also getting the resource wars, which I hope to gather some members to actually, test out quite a bit. For those who didn't hear my spiel last time, I am trying to put together folks for a corporation that would be doing resource wars, forward operating bases, and then once we've reached the numbers and ships required, ninjaing other people's moons. That's going to be fun. Just Black Ops drop a whole bunch of prospects into the system after wiping the field. Oh, that's going to be fun.
That does sound like a blast.
I know.
It sounds like a blast up until you realize, oh right, they also have to be PvPers as well. And it seems like more and more, especially as you start to get as you get into nullsec, if somebody is primarily a PvEer, they don't really PvP. We had that problem with in Manifesto where we had a bunch of people who joined up, and I don't know what that means. And they didn't PvP, and it was like a huge issue for a lot of people. So you're going to have to be very selective in who you bring in. If anybody says, yeah, I really want to, hi kitten. If somebody comes in and says, yeah, I want to be able to make ISK by doing this, well, are they going to be doing PvP as well? That's going to have to be a consideration of yours.
Well, I intend to have two groups. We've got the PvP group who goes in and wipes the field and secures the grid, and then we've got the Black Ops mining crew who goes in and mines the moon material, while the PvP group is watching over them.
Absolutely. I mean, this is actually something that Bond and I were talking about, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but we both know alliances that have essentially foregone a PvE element within their ranks. Alliances plural, and they got a lot of their ISK via the moons. And now that it's becoming an active income source where you actually have to do stuff, it's not push button get ISK. They're gonna be hurting. I know of at least two that have done so poorly with management, or they're just too lazy that they haven't even really done the passive income from moons right now, and and they don't want to bring in a PvE element. So I would not be surprised if somebody, one of those groups sees you and your buddies say, mining or something, and they go, hey, how about you mine for us?
That is actually another idea I've been tossing around. Mining mercenary services. Excavation specialists. You hire us, you give us docking rights at your refinery, we go in, we mine your moon materials, you see exactly what we mine on your mining ledger, because it doesn't matter who mines your moon material, you see it anyway, and you use that to pay us.
I mean, that could work. Also, Bond gets really excited when I mention my cat.
I noticed. I'm like, cat? What? How does that have anything to do with a porpoise?
Oh, I mentioned when we were talking, she jumped up right next to me because she wanted to go out, and I'm going to let her out right now.
I gotta stop mistaking my corp button for my fitting button.
Okay, she is now outside of the room.
Aw, now Bond is gonna be all sad because there's no kitty on the podcast. Sad face.
He'll survive.
Yeah, you'll just have to settle for spaceships and potential explosions.
More of the latter rather than the former.
Well, I don't know. I'm in a spaceship right now. It hasn't exploded yet.
Yet.
That is the operative term. There will be an explosion. I don't know whose it will be, but something will explode.
I will guarantee an explosion. I just not guarantee who it is.
Yay, space violence.
Yeah, I haven't been able to engage in that too much. Ever since I left Blitz, it's like, I've been waiting on test for so long, and I was literally, let me put it this way. I'm not a vindictive person by any stretch of the imagination. I'm really not. It takes a lot for me to hold a grudge. That being said, I do hold grudges. But I was taking care of some stuff in the previous alliance I was a part of. I did not really leave on positive terms with them, and I pop into their home system because I'm taking care of some stuff, and like the biggest mouth in there is like starts talking shit, and it's just like, okay, well, you know what, now I'm going to just start, I'm in their system in a cloaked ship. And now I just want to stay there. Now I just want to stay there just because it freaking triggers them. And you know what? I feel like being a little bit of an asshole to these guys.
Warp drive active.
Oh man, I even remembered how to fly around in nullsec. I didn't fly directly to the exit gate. The one that borders lowsec, because it's probably camped and bubbled to hell.
You know who doesn't care about that? Interceptors.
Yeah, but you know what's not an interceptor? The worm that I'm
The
flying.
worm.
You know what eats interceptors for breakfast? Oh, worm.
I don't know about that. Interceptor's not in scram range. It might be able to fuck around.
Oh, this thing's got an MWD on it too.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on them. If they're competent frigate pilots and they manually pilot, you might be in trouble.
That's probably how that Firetail got me. It is fast as all fuck.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, that's the big thing. And people don't understand this in the game. The smaller the ship, the more manual piloting you have to do in order to be effective. I
have to interrupt real quick. I just sailed right past that Phobos.
Very nice.
Please continue.
But it's something that I learned pretty early on, because when the only character I still have that was originally mine, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
That didn't sound good.
That's alright. Band has got my back. I know, that was nice. Remembering to bounce off of planets for the win. At least on that borderline system, because holy shit, that if that's not camped, somebody's doing something wrong. Oh man. Alright, so let's talk about some other things they were talking about at E-Vegas. Let's see, we did FOBs. We've done a little bit on the resource wars. Yeah, internet high five. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Anything come out of Vegas that you really liked seeing?
Warp drive active.
Big things for me from Vegas were actually the resource wars.
Yeah, I am actually really, really looking forward to those, because honestly, right now I am Bond is like alpha clone mining rokes. And yes, I am looking forward to seeing those. Oh, but anyway, the resource wars. That is actually something I am looking forward to because honestly, when it comes to resource wars, it does not matter what sort of pilots I get. If they can fly Ventures, great. If they can't fly Ventures, also great. People just in the site will be helpful because even if you're not helping the mining operation, you can help the defense. And if you can do both, well, holy shit.
Warp drive
I'm
active.
looking forward to seeing how all that shakes out. And actually, there is another thing I saw. That was the agency overhaul that they're planning. I don't know if they're doing
Yep.
this with Lifeblood or not, but basically they're going to take all of your anoms, your cosmic anomalies, mining belts, your combat sites, agent missions, all kinds of things, and they're going to roll it into that one agency interface. About the only things that they're leaving out right now, simply because of technical issues, is high sec incursions and a couple various things that are in the journal, probably things like planetary excursions and your loyalty point standings. I mean, even things like epic arc missions are going to be fed into that interface, and that is going to be fucking amazing because honestly, I tried redoing the Sisters of Eve Epic Arc a couple weeks back, and it took me for fucking ever to get that thing started. I eventually had to bust out Google, as you do, and realize how much of a fucking moron I was, and then went ahead and got it done.
I'm
That's
back.
always a good day.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it was. Welcome back.
My
It
cat was
looks like
trying to get up.
Okay, who was saying what?
the agency improvements do look they're coming with Lifeblood.
Yes. This is also where they're going to be shoving in those. I think they're putting the forward operating bases in there. I'm not 100% sure, but you are definitely going to find your resource wars there.
Has anybody actually cared about the agency missions? I mean, I get for like the alpha clone version that we just had. You know, it was kind of cool for the new people to be able to do stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's, you know, there's nothing spectacular going on with them. The rewards aren't anything interesting. I mean, it just it seems lackluster.
I don't know about that. Did you try the Warzone extraction missions?
No, I was too busy dealing with drama to be able to.
That shit was hard as fuck. They gave drifter drugs, cerebral accelerators, all kinds of nifty shit, and you were literally fighting drifters and their sleeper counterparts in these sites. They was fucking hard as hell. And honestly, I did not do it because it's hard as hell.
Well, it just seemed like in general the agency wasn't that interesting to a lot of players, both both new and otherwise. I mean, I wasn't, I did the first one that came out, but that was only because I was in the middle of a huge PVE rush. I was trying to work on getting the ISK to get into a super, and hey, guess what? I got the ISK to get into a super, but it was kind of like, it was very boring. It was lackluster to me.
Well, that first agency event was supposed to be exactly that. In fact, when they went over it at the presentation, they said the welcome to the agency mission numbers that you're seeing here seem a little artificially inflated because you could accidentally accomplish these goals. You know, kill 10 pirates. Who's not going to kill 10 pirates even when they're mining?
Right.
So yeah, no, it totally makes sense where you don't feel like you've really accomplished anything, which is something that they're going to be rolling out with some of these new changes to the missions that they're doing. Instead of daily goals, they are going to be incremental. So let's say you've got the kill pirates goal. You'll start off at like kill a pirate, you get some points. Kill 5 pirates, you get some more points. Kill 10 pirates, kill 20 pirates, kill 50 pirates, kill 1,000 pirates. You get the picture.
Right.
And that could be a bit more compelling for people who literally want to dive into Eve face first and just immerse themselves.
And that's fair. As I said, it felt a little too lackluster and forced in many ways. I didn't enjoy it.
Well, I've seen well, as far as like the latest one, the Warzone Extraction one, I saw some footage for that, and if I had the skill points and or the ships to do that sort of thing, I would have been all over it because honestly, the gameplay that I was seeing with the sleepers and the drifters was actually very compelling. It's like the one instance you see drifters that don't have a second shield bar and won't doomsday you off the field, so you actually have a fighting chance against them by yourself. But I guess that's just a consequence of it being an agency mission. But still, I really liked what I saw there, and if I was able to do it myself, I would have been all over that shit. So they're definitely making some improvements, and what they've been talking about, in addition to these incremental goals instead of daily goals, they're also going to be looking at setting up events for specific player groups. So you'll have an agency season for miners, for industrialists. You'll have them for PvEers and pirate slayers, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have some PvP ones where they're just like kill X number of players from opposing militia or some shit like that for like faction warfare dudes.
And that'd be kind of cool. I'm not going to lie to you. It'd be kind of cool. It would be great to see something like this. I'm just hoping that they don't mess it up, if you understand what I mean, because CCP kind of has a tendency to mess up delivery initially of such of such events, and then it just everything becomes, a lot of the interest is lost because of that. It's like the old adage: you only have one first impression, and if it's a bad one, you really can't salvage it. So I think a lot of players who were put off by the agency the way it was, or the way it was rolled out rather, I think they're willing to give it a second go because CCP has said, look, we're going to try something different. But I think if CCP messes this up, nobody's going to really care about it in the future, and it'll just become it'll just become the next captain's quarters, something that was hyped up, something that was put in the game, and then just nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, what they never told you is behind that door is the disposal for the character biomass function. That's where you hear all the screams. Sorry, I get kind of miffed about that door whenever somebody talks about the captain's quarters. It's just like, why'd you put it there?
What's in the box?
The cat is both alive and dead.
Warp drive active.
Ooh, snap. I just totally forgot. Bandit's in the audience. I probably shouldn't be talking about Schrodinger's pet cat.
Yeah, he watches Hellsing Ultimate Abridged. He's okay.
Oh man, they came out with a new episode what was it, like last week?
Last
my
week,
God.
and it's amazing. I was actually in the middle of doing a video for YouTube, and I was like, God damn, I need a good song for this video, and it was like, I watched that episode. It's like Alucard coming in that Andrew WK is ready to die. I was like, well, there's my freaking song. Like, I completely forgot that even existed, and it was perfect for the video because it's literally
the Alexander Anderson song.
No. The when he's on the ship, when he comes back, because it's literally 3 minutes of nothing but shit dying in like rapid fire, very fast paced action, and it was a perfect song. I forgot it existed. I'm like, that's the perfect song. So thanks, Team 4-Star.
All right, here we are. We are in Tama.
Rip your ship.
And there's nobody on the gate.
Don't you feel dirty now?
Oh, wait, nope. There's a couple shuttles and an Ares is jumping out.
Get back here and fight me.
Oh, this makes me sad. I'm gonna actually have to jump to Kadama.
Go Sujarento.
Yeah, alright, let's do it. Sujarento, let's go!
Warp drive active.
Nobody ever does anything at Sujarento. That's what makes me very sad. It's like everybody's always like, okay, let's go Kadama. Why? Because it's a shorter name to pronounce.
Honestly, it's because I had to scroll up to see the top of my overview.
It's like there's two systems in the entire game, I think, that people are always like, how do I pronounce that? It's always like Valilarier or whatever it's fucking called. I can't pronounce it. And then there's
Are you talking
OICX. No, not Valor. There's a system called Valilarier. VLIL. Just put that in, and you'll find it very quickly. It's like that system and OICX. Nobody can freaking pronounce whatever that is supposed to be. They just spell it out.
Warp drive active.
There's nobody here either. And no novices. I'm not about to go cruising around in a large and a worm, but yeah, if somebody's in a novice, I'm gonna take that shit. Because, you know, I am not about fair fights.
While I was away, did you talk about the changes coming to AHACs and assault frigates?
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait, who's this guy? I jumped out, damn it.
What a jerk.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to fight me in that burst anyway.
I would totally fight you.
Well, that's only because you know how terrible I am.
No, I would fight you because it's a fucking burst, and if I got the kill, that you would have to biomass right then and there. You lost a worm to a burst.
Warp drive.
And hey, if you lose, you're only out a burst.
Exactly. There is absolutely, holy crap, meatball. There is absolutely no way for me to lose that. It's only a win.
But yes, AHACs and assault frigates. They're finally doing something with assault frigates. I'm so happy. So, for a little backstory, I was all set to train up and get ready for assault frigates when I went to nullsec. I'm like, I'm gonna fly an assault frigate because interceptors look like they're paper thin, and and I don't want to fly anything that's paper thin. And then everyone's like, no, don't even spend the money on the assault frigates book. They're terrible. They're garbage. Just fly interceptors. Just fly interceptors. So finally, I'm just like, fine, whatever. I'll fly interceptors. Now I actually have a reason to fly assault frigates again. And
I'll say this much. It's something I've said for a while. It's a saying I have: the sacrilege and vengeance hit like a small girl, but have the staying power of an ex-wife. They are not going anywhere, quickly. Then again, whoever they're shooting at isn't going anywhere very quickly either.
I don't know. I've been in a couple ball sack fleets that will fuck some shit up. In fact, dictors and sacrileges, we call that the dick and balls. Because we fuck you over with the interdictor, and then we get you all the way balls deep.
But I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I won't lie, I kind of wish that they took me up on what I suggested, which is if you want to make assault frigates better, get rid of the current roll bonus they have, because the fitting on all of them is too tight, fitting tank, damage, and trying to get a micro warp drive on there as well. It's just practically impossible. So it's a pointless bonus to have. Give them something like what Hicks get, where they have a specific tank type, give them a roll bonus of a 20% bonus to shield or armor resists. Now you'd have to go back, you'd have to retweak the Vengeance and the Harpy because they already have 20% bonus at Assault Frigate 5, but that would actually show the heavy tackle concept that CCP has pushed for assault frigates for the longest time.
That does seem like a really good idea. Although, truth be told, I really like what they're doing so far. What they're doing right now, I don't know if they're doing anything else, but they're introducing a new type of damage control module that only fixes on hacks and assault frigates. And what it does is it does the same thing your standard Tech 2 damage control does, where it gives you a passive bonus to all your resists, but it also has an activated mode that's on a 20-second cooldown timer after it's done, but it will give you straight up 80% resists across the board that stack with stacking penalties on your current resist profile.
Let me pause you right there. It has a 20-second activation time, which means you only get the bonus for 20 seconds. And after that, it goes on cooldown and it has something like a 180-second cooldown before you can activate it again.
Oh, just found a Dramiel. I'm warping in after him. Come on, here we go, here we go, here we go, come on.
But the question is will this make assault frigates worth flying at that point? You know, we've kind of seen the power of the emergency damage control, specifically with dread bombs and whatnot, where for like 20 seconds or something like that, they can take no damage in hull. But after that, it's pretty much, given their dreads are a one-way ticket anyways, but still, will it make assault frigates viable or interesting enough to actually start working around?
Oh, fuck yeah, I got him. I'm in 14% structure, but I got him.
Well, there you go.
Holy crap. Oh, that was fun.
It's always those fights that are the best. The ones that you're like, oh, am I going to win? Am I going to be able to win?
Okay, time to go back to Cheetah. Oh, shit.
Well, repair and Tama.
Oh, yeah, I have docking rights there.
Wait, are you Galbel? You disgusting thing, you.
No, I left factional warfare when I started up my corp.
Fair enough.
Oh, man. That was awesome. Oh. Alright, so I'll have to put up the kill mail here on the stream here in just a second. I want to make sure I'm safely docked up before I do that. You never came up on my overview tab. Might want to change your fit. Would have had you easy if my shit wasn't fucked. Oh.
Sounds like someone might be salty.
There might be a little salt. I don't think I've ever
delicious.
I don't think I've ever actually gotten that upset about a loss that I've just lost my shit.
Honestly, I don't know how he didn't react any faster. I mean, his drones were out before I hit the grid. His drones were automatically attacking me. So, I don't know what overview issue he might have had. He was applying damage to me from the word go.
Well, it could have been actually that his drones were set to aggressive, So he had drones out, sure, but maybe the drones weren't actually doing anything up until you hit him.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely weren't doing anything up until I hit him. But
So that's probably what it was. He didn't actually see you on his overview. That could have been it. His overview's not set up right. That's probably what he means.
Warp drive active.
oh man, that the PvP shakes are real, folks. They're fucking real. oh man, I'm gonna have to clip that later. That shit was awesome. August Marauschnig.
Permission requested.
07, bro. Thanks for the fight. Ooh, shit. So what were we talking about before I got all giddy with explosions?
I forget. I almost died in Path of Exile, so it's kind of like at that point I forget what we were even talking about.
oh, shit. Let's see. 31,000 ISK worth of repairs for 16 mils worth of profit. I could do that.
Seems like a net benefit. It's a win all around.
Hooray, piracy. Because honestly, I had no other reason to blow up his ship except it was there, it was shiny, and it probably had stuff on it.
It was a ship in low sec. It needed to die.
yeah, basically. oh, it looks like he had some. Oh, he had a medium energy turret implant in his cargo hold. That is now in my cargo hold.
Was it
Very
a
nice.
3 or a 5?
It was a 3.
Yeah.
Or oh wait, no. Is that my implant? Where the fuck did I get that? Huh. Oh well. Let's see.
Not like it helps you in a worm anyways.
Yeah, seriously. Let's see. 64 million is kill mail just off the kill mail value itself. Oh yeah. Good times. And I have +1 kill mark on my worm now. Yay! Cutie marks.
Don't you ever say that again.
Yeah, please stop.
Oh man.
Okay, so Greba and I are in agreement here.
That actually reminds me of a Warhammer 40k meme compilation video that I was watching. So there's a Space Marine standing in front of a My Little Pony, and the My Little Pony is singing a song about how awesome its planet is. And the Space Marine's like, I have the Xenos in sight. It's singing. And it's just like the look of confusion that has to be inside that helmet. You can almost see the look of confusion in the eye holes of the helmet. It's just like, yeah, no, just purge the Xenos and get on with it.
Yeah, that sounds like heresy that needs to be purged in the name of the God Emperor. Friendship is heresy. Always remember that.
No. Friendship is magic, and magic is heresy.
Exactly. I'm just taking the short way around it. Friendship is heresy.
oh, where the fuck did I even get this implant from? Oh, no, I know. It must have come from the Sisters of Eve missions. Yeah, I did 90% of the epic arc in a worm, because why not?
Because you can.
I didn't even change the fit. It still had a web and a scram fitted to it.
Gotta make sure those epic mission rats aren't gonna get away, yo.
I had to switch out for a destroyer at the very last mission because I just couldn't overcome its tank. And that was my only problem.
That's pretty sad if a worm can't do it.
Well, it's a worm on peasant skills. So, there's that. I mean, I just got barely into T2 Hobgoblins, and I'm still using T1 missiles.
You should really, if you're going to be taking that in a PvP, you should really get T2 Warriors.
Warp drive active.
Actually, yeah, I've got T2 Warriors as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only frickin' drones you should be using in a worm.
I don't know. I like to damage my Hobbs plat.
Oh no, Hobbs have the best DPS potential, but it's, you're fighting against frigates, and warriors are really the only thing that's gonna. I'm not denying this.
I get on top of that motherfucker, and as soon as I'm on top of that motherfucker, those hobgoblins just chew their asses up, and it's delicious.
Warp drive active.
And then we've got the 3 light missile launchers, just for a little extra flavor.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how like Garista's platforms are really good at PvP and really good at PvE. There's really no other ship that there's really no other group that can boast that their entire line is really good for both PvP and PvE.
I like to call it the FA ship, because if you get F'd by this ship, your A is gonna hurt really bad.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Because it is literally swinging your drone dick around and seeing how many people you can hit in the side of the head with it. Like you said, it's great for both. In fact, I don't change my fits between. When Just Let It Happen was flying with Lumpy, I was using the same 100 MN Gila with no missiles on it to do my PvE, and then if we got called in for a fleet, I would just fly it over to the Citadel and be like, "What's up? I'm here. Let's do it." Like, don't you need to change your ship? Nah.
No.
I'm good. I'm just gonna sit here and let my drones rep for a little bit.
I'm gonna say right now, the best thing about Eve Vegas was how they announced the alpha changes that are coming. FC, can I bring my Drake?
Active.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Yes, you can. And now alphas know why that's a question.
Well, they will, and a lot of them will continue to ask that question, and they should.
Drakes are not all that bad nowadays, if you did it right.
No. Navy Drake is amazing.
I remember when I was in SMA, we were flying Drakes in Providence.
The Navy Drake is actually it's so weird how the Navy Drake used to be and now it's actually good. The only problem that people have with it is that, unlike the other faction battle cruisers, it doesn't get a utility high. So in order to fit the what's it called, like a skirmish link, it has to drop a launcher.
Give me just a moment. I'm making some profits.
Well, that's always good.
Alright. And then I just gotta repair some other shit, and we'll get that sold too. Let's see. What else came out of Vegas? I know something else came out that I wanted to talk about.
Did you go over the alpha changes?
Oh yeah. So they are expanding a lot of ships that you can fly as alphas. And I, in fact, love the shit out of this, because this really works out for my corporation. They are setting it up to where alphas can fly Tech 2 frigates, which I am serious.
No. Really? So what they are doing is they are allowing you to train up T2 small and medium weapons. You're still going to be locked into level 4 for Tech 1 ships. However, you're not going to be relegated to only using the racial faction that you create for your alpha. So you're not going, say you make a Matari, you're not just going to be flying Minmatar ships. You can now cross trade into Galente, Caldari, and Amar. And since you're going to be able to use Tech 2 weapons, that opens a whole lot of possibilities. So you're going to be able to fly the pirate ships as well. They are also opening up battlecruiser skills and battleship skills to the alphas. You're only going to be able to use Tech 1 weapons with those battleships, but you're still going to be able to use them. So all told, the current skill point availability is somewhere around 5,000 for the alphas. After this, it's going to be just over 20 million skill points for them to train. Now, there's a second caveat. You cannot train more than 5 million skill points without subbing. So once you hit that 5 million skill point cap, no matter what you have trained, no matter what you can fly, you stop training. Now, any skills that are alpha skills, if you lapse from Omega to Alpha, you'll still be able to fly those ships no matter what. So if you have those skills trained, you'll still be able to use them if you lapse to Alpha.
Well, that makes me kind of sad. I was really kind of looking forward to being able to fly Tech 2 frigates, because then I can put my alphas in prospects, make this thing happen.
I mean, the big thing that I want to know is, they're not allowing, from what I understand, they're not allowing T2 mining lasers or strip miners. They're not allowing a couple of things, which makes me go, why? T2 miners, look, you're letting them use T2 small weapons. T2 miners are essentially the mining equivalent of, small weapons. Why not let them use it? They haven't said anything about mining barges. I think alphas should be able to use mining barges. But it's like they didn't even talk about that. It's like we want them to get into the PvP aspect, which that's fine. I'm a PvPer. This is a PvP game. Let's get more PvP going. I fully support that. But at the same time, you can open up mining barges and T2 mining lasers, I think. Not strip miners, mining lasers.
Now, are you going to open up T1 strip miners to these mining barge pilots?
Well, of course, you would have to open up the T1 strip miners. And once again, at that point, it becomes a question of, are the T1 strip miners better than the T2 mining lasers? Who knows? They may be, they may not be. It depends on how you train things up.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one, because I see where you're going here, but I think there's another route we can take. Don't put them in mining barges. In fact, don't put them in anything that uses strip miners or mining drones as a serious part of its mining. So, not mining foreman ships, not barges.
Definitely not exhumers.
Oh yeah, but let them fly T2 mining frigates. This gets you not only into ore mining, into gas mining, it also gets you into ice mining, which is another thing that the barge does and the Venture does not do so good. You get a very similar ore hold to that of a procurer, so you can mine a similar amount of ore, but it is going to take you longer. And there's a reason for this. We do not want a whole bunch of alpha farms to start up because somebody has 5 computers at his house and decides he doesn't want to pay for his mining fleet. So I could see Tech 2 mining frigates being a thing for alphas to do, because they're already using the same skills. They've already confirmed that they're going to let alphas fly pirate ships, which means Sisters of Eve is right up there. I would not be surprised if they're able to fly covert Sinos, if not able to use coverts. They
can't use normal Sinos, so they won't be able to use covert.
Yeah. No,
And they can't
no.
use covert ops cloaks, so
Well, they should be able to expand that though. I think covert ops cloaks is something they should be able to use. Cynos, not so much, but covert ops cloaks, definitely.
Especially if they're going to let them fly the terror on the Stratios.
Exactly. If they're opening up the pirate cruise, the pirate ships, they kind of have to. But you don't necessarily have to put Cynos on them. In fact, you can still lock those out because you can still lock out the Cynoserial field theory skill. But putting alphas into tier 2 mining ships opens up a lot of options. It opens up a lot of gameplay for newer players to get into. It opens up a lot more possibilities for these new moon mechanics, i.e. Loco. Hey, what's up? We're recruiting. There's just a lot of things that you could do with that, and it's not going to be game-breakingly OP and destroy the economy because you don't have somebody sitting at a computer with five alphas doing his own mining fleet that he doesn't even have to plex anymore. So that's my 2 cents on it. That's me playing devil's advocate. What do you guys think?
okay, I guess I'll go. It comes down to what's the yield at the end of the day, and I think it's one of these things. If you allow this to happen, they don't have access to the mining barges. Even T2 mining frigates do not have the same yield really as a T1 mining barge.
Okay.
At the end of the day, this will mean that you train up Caldari battleship. Congratulations, mining rogue. You do that. And, that I expect will become a thing. The mining rogue will be coming back. At the same time, the premier way of making ISK at this point is going to be ratting again or level 4 missions because you're going to be able to fly battleships now. There's no reason you can't do it.
Oh yeah, I can see Dommies becoming real popular again.
And I'm okay with this.
Yeah, we need more loot pinata Dommies out there. Oh.
I mean, if Grima disagrees, I'd love to hear it, but I look at it this way: it's a question of specialization and whatnot. Mining barges take the mining aspect and specialize a little more than the mining frigates do, and you do put more ISK into it. I think you can kind of. I think they could get away with doing that because you only get up to, level 4, and then you can only get, mining barge level 4, and then you can only get strip mining level 2, say, because you can't train all the alpha skills up to 4. You can't. So I think it could work. It would actually be kind of cool to see. Yeah, there's nothing preventing right now that same guy from running his own mining fleet because he has 5 computers and not plexing except for one account that flies the Rorqual.
Right, but right now he's flying 5 benchers instead of 5 retrievers.
Right, and even if he gets, a retriever, he's still not going to make stupid amounts of money with it. Yeah, he'll make more than the ventures, but he's not going to make stupid amounts of ISK more than he already does. This is not like bringing out a Hulks or something like that.
True, but with the recent exogeology focus on the next expansion, do you really want that same guy with now 5 retrievers sitting on his moon when it hits that jackpot?
Kind of, yeah. I kind of do. It's gonna cause people to actually put more stuff out there. It's gonna create more content. It's hard. It's easier to catch the mining barges than it is to catch a mining frigate, and that's really what it comes down to for me. It's going to be more content. It's not the content that I want, because I want the content where people actually fight, but it's still something going on.
Well, I guess if we're speaking on a target saturation standpoint, where you want as many targets as possible, I can see that being a thing that you'd want to happen. Personally, in my opinion, I'd like to go the T2 mining frigate route, because it adds more flexibility to the individual miner as to what their mining scenario might be. But it's not going to make for a very target-rich environment for those trying to counter that mining fleet. On the other end, it is going to provide a very good reason to bring a fight if my miners get to fly T2 mining frigates. That would be something this is something I wring my hands wickedly in anticipation for.
I'm not surprised.
I can see it now. They announce it on the horizon and like, yes, my plan is falling into place.
I won't be surprised if in the future they do say, you know what, we're gonna make it so that you can fly mining barges as an alpha. More skills is not exactly bad. More options are not bad. It's not like these guys are gonna be in freaking Marauders.
True dat, true dat.
Warp drive active.
My cat is now trying to get her paw under my door to open it. Because my door doesn't go all the way to the floor, so she's able to get her paw under it, and she kind of wiggles it trying to open it. She's a smart cat. She's incredibly intelligent. But it's like, it's funny and annoying to watch, because she's also like meowing. Like, please let me in, Daddy.
You see me here. I'm all cute and fuzzy. Just do something. Come on.
She's absolutely adorable. Don't get me wrong. I love her to death. She's my shadow. I cannot do anything without her also being there. She has to be around me.
Active.
Like, when I cannot go to sleep without her showing up. It's as soon as I'm under the blankets, I'm comfortable, she jumps over, she walks up on my right side every time. It's always on my right side. And she will sit there and she will gently poke my face with her paw and meow at me because she wants to cuddle. And then her brother shows up, and he's 20 pounds of freaking muscle, and he sleeps on my chest.
Just to show you who's boss.
No, he likes being up high.
I remember living in a house with a beast of a cat like that, and he would sleep on my chest, but he would do it looking at me.
Yeah, he does the same thing. He looks at me.
He's thinking about how he wants to kill you.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's like, motherfucker, I'm looking at you.
I want you to see me. I want you to see me.
And I want you to see me seeing you see me.
Right. I mean, it's funny because he's 20 pounds of muscle, and he wants to play with the other cats in the house. The other cats consist of his sister, who is like 10 pounds now, which is really good because she was like 5 pounds. You know, she was tiny. She won't play with him because he gets a bit rough. There's my roommate's cat, who will not play with him because he is giant and she doesn't like him. And then there's Sammy, who's 15 years old and just doesn't give a fuck.
It's like, yeah, you want to play, go to hell.
Oh, she can't see shit, too.
It's like, yeah, you want to, I don't even see what you want, go to hell.
Yeah, it's pretty much she like catches the movement and it scares her, and she goes after the cat.
Warp drive active.
But yeah, those are my cats.
Yeah, it reminds me of how I used to treat newts in local in Nullsack. You want what you want? Yeah. No, never mind. Go to hell.
I was going
He
to
wants.
ask if you were going to sit on their chest and stare at them.
It depends on how many of their corpses I have in my cargo hold.
Yeah. Have you seen the? Apparently, the Garistas are getting an actual carrier, or not Garistas. Serpentis are getting an actual carrier.
Serpentis.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like, it's began with a V. Vanguard. Apparently, it's
the one based off the Thani model.
yep. I'm just sitting here like, okay, so are they going to do this with all of the, are they going to give the full capital array to all the factions? Because that would be kind of cool, don't get me wrong.
Warp drive active.
I just webbed a gate.
And now the gate guns are shooting you?
No, it was an acceleration gate. I'm warping in after an Atron. I'm gonna get you.
Don't you love that moment, though? It's like, yes, I'm going to get you. It's like you web the gate. Oh, I'm so retarded.
Oh, motherfucker ran away.
He was just so excited he had to web something.
I just webbed the fucking beacon.
Well, it'll make the beacon easier to scram at least.
Active.
You gotta watch those beacons, they might get away.
Yeah, I don't want that beacon getting away from me. It needs to stay right where it's at.
Nothing worse than a Sino beacon. I'll shut up.
I was watching the structure presentation, and somebody had asked a question that honestly I didn't really think needed to be asked, but I'm gonna put it out there in case anybody has any other takes on this. So somebody had asked if there was any plans in the future for a structure Sino generator, so that you could just activate the structure Sino and not have to use an independent Sino pilot in order to light your Sinos. And I'm thinking, isn't this exactly what a Sino beacon is currently? And couldn't this be solved with, I don't know, some sort of a Stargate structure that may or may not happen in the future?
Well, it's like they're getting rid of pauses. So what happens with jump bridges? What happens with the Sino generators? The Sino generator is a stationary object. It's easily camped. We Manifesto had it happen before, and we lost a super because of it. But it's like, will Citadels be able to generate Sinos? Not unless while it's active. Tethering is impossible. I could see them doing something like that only if they make it so that tethering is no longer possible while the Sino is up, because it would just be too easy for you to go up, Sino up, jump in, jump your capital out or your jump freighter out to that thing, and then it's instantly tethered, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. They would have to do something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this whole thing would be resolved better with the gate structure they have planned later.
Yeah, but they've had the player-owned gates thing. They've talked about that several times over the past 7-8 years, and they haven't done it. It's just like, you know what? You can talk about it all you want, but until I actually see some type of activity on it, I just don't care.
Well, my hope for the Stargates when they actually become a thing is I hope they become the replacement for jump bridges. You'll be able to set up two Stargates between two different systems within a certain range of each other and create your own gate network. And I'm hoping that they'll also function as Sino beacons. So your Stargate structure lights its own Sino and you can jump shit to it. But I don't think it should be something that you can fit to like an Astra House or a Fortizar.
No, that would just be way too broken. Instant tether? No, it's. I don't think it'll happen.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can't do what that Atron did, and just sit here at the acceleration gate, waiting for people. Because for some reason the music at the acceleration gate is so much cooler anyway. Yay, Dead Space tracks.
You don't have a YouTube playlist set up for when you're doing stupid shit?
Not that I can play
pleb.
while I am doing Twitch.
Oh, that's fair.
Especially for an audio program that involves a lot of talking and could become very much disrupted if I was to play copyrighted music on my stream and get it muted.
Oh, you just need to set OBS up to not accept that input.
Too much work.
Fair enough.
I barely know how to use OBS as it is.
But I think Vegas gave us a lot of hope for the future of the game. What they told us is definitely going to be interesting to see over the coming over the coming months. I think the really big thing we're going to see is how is the war in the Southeast going to play out? A couple of the groups down south, Manifesto among them, have said their primary interest is maintaining the stations they have, and that's all they really want to do. It'll be kind of interesting to see if Goons or Solar decide, you know what, we kind of want more stations, because they've been given a few extra months in order to cement their hold over it, if you will. It's no longer are the changes to pauses or to outposts coming in January. They're going to be Q1 2018, which means probably around, I would say, April. So that's an extra 3-4 months for people to be able to start looking at taking stations from some of these smaller groups. And especially in the Southeast, Fraternity, the Asian Alliance, they're growing significantly, and they have stated they want to take over the entirety of Wicked Creek. And with all the Serenity players coming over and joining Fraternity, they might be able to do that. Now, that's assuming that the Chinese corporation in Goon Swarm can't coax a lot of the Serenity refugees to join them.
Is Serenity shutting down?
I don't know if it was shutting down. I believe that's what was actually happening, but they're definitely coming. They're definitely coming over, and they've been coming over. I think part of it is trademark and copyright law in China is very interesting, to say the very least. A lot of international copyright and trademark law is handled under what's known as the Madrid Protocol. And for those who don't know, the United States is not a signatory to the Madrid Protocol. So, we still enforce internationally recognized trademarks and patents and whatnot. within reason. But China is a different thing altogether. And when you decide to put your game in China, the Chinese government pretty much has a rule that if you do, the server must be located in China so that the Chinese government at any time can shut it down if they need to censor something. But once your game is in China, the company that runs it, which is usually like Snail Games or something like that, they essentially hold the copyright for it. And if the company, say CCP, wanted to shut down the server or wanted to shut it down, the Chinese company could be like, okay, we'll let you do that. And then they run the game in China, and there's nothing the company can do because the Chinese government doesn't give a shit. I think it's something like that, in that CCP was able to go through the Chinese MTO, which is the trademark organization for communist China, and they were able to bribe whoever they had to, which is a big thing over there apparently, to get the copyright recognized in China. So they decided, you know what, we're going to shut it down because you guys have been doing a lot of things we don't like. RMT is a pretty big thing over there. A Drake, for example, will cost the amount of a Plex here. That's how far in the shitter their economy is. Also, the company, skins, they have their own different skins, but they're sold for 30, 60, or 90 days. Not the permanent skins that we have here. It's just a huge clusterfuck. I think CCP decided that they were tired of dealing with, and they're shutting it down, and there's nothing the company running things over there can do. So we're starting to see the influx of Chinese players coming over here, and they're coming over here with fresh characters because they can't transfer their Serenity characters over.
No, he's getting away. Sorry, I'm fighting somebody.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but like your stream's not playing for me.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna do something really quick, and I'm gonna restart it. Like, it could be my computer, I don't know, but yeah, it's not playing. I have it playing. Oh, I paused and then played, and there we go. Okay, it's fixed. It was just me.
Ah, whew. I was about to say, my stream's still running, man.
But yeah, that's a short and dirty history. Obviously, I don't know all of it, all of everything about Chinese law regarding trademarks and whatnot. But that's what I do know.
This guy's running away. Oh wait, he's coming back. Oh, please tell me I can get him.
And also, Chinese trademark law is exactly why I do not want to study copyright law or contractual law, period.
Oh, here we go. Hopefully I get him this time. It's close. We're both in low shields. Uh-oh. Oh, no way. Don't tell me he's got an armor rep. Come on. Die before me. Die before me.
Bamboozled again.
Yes, I got him.
Yay, another kill mark for the worm.
Oh, 34% structure.
Hey, at least you're alive. Just add that kill mark to the worm, and there you go, bud.
I don't think this dude likes me.
Was it the same guy?
Nah, this is some other dude. Okay, there's an incursus on grid. Bye.
Huh, there's an incursus on grid, and there is not a worm on grid. Bye!
Oh, wait, holy shit. I took that flight at the acceleration gate. I totally forgot. Dude burned like 100 kilometers away from me, and I totally forgot that my micro warp drive was off because he was using missiles.
Mistakes were made.
Yes, lots of them. But fortunately, I didn't make too many of them that I actually died.
Nope, and that's all that matters.
Hey, I got my good fight from him. Yay. And my kill marks are all blinky because I'm in structure.
You should fix that.
Oh, I'm working on it. There's no station in this system, though. And there's no station in Kadama either. Damn.
Yep, you have to go back to Tama.
Drive active.
You can go to Nelvola. I believe that's one out of Kadama.
Nope. The other ones are Nisua, Tamo, Hiri, and...
Nisua, that's what I meant. Nisua. There is a station in Nisua.
Too late. I'm already in warp. We'll see what happens. So far, so good today. But, I mean, even if I die, come on, seriously. I promised explosions. This just means I get you one more.
You can fight May. You'll fucking hate me for it, but you can fight May. It'll be a Deimos.
Deimos. Isn't that a cruiser?
Yep.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's a heavy assault cruiser. It's the blaster heavy assault cruiser with an active tank.
Woo. Yeah. No thanks.
With his Klepians.
I'm going to stick to eating frigates for breakfast.
This is fair.
And continue to sweat bullets as I'm somewhere between 15 and 30% structure after I kill one.
All that matters is that you kill him.
Oh, man. Honestly, I've got like one shield tanking mod on here. I got like an extender, and that's it.
Well, it's a worm. I mean, you get passive resist bonus. Because I assume you have Caldari Frigate 5.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, that should have been a yes. If it's not, you need to train that immediately. It's like all the frigate skills should be at 5, period. I mean...
4.
It's not... Yeah, you should train that to 5, like, immediately. It's like 7... 9? What the fudge?
I'm on a blank slate, so everything's like... everything's evened out.
Oh, you should really... You should use EveMon and, like, you know, plan out everything so you know when to do the optimal resets.
That would be a thing
or
I
remaps.
do if I turn on multiple character training. But right now, keeping my count in Omega status is the big one.
This is fair. Oh, wait. I actually have a multiple... Ooh, I have an MCT somewhere.
What?
Yeah. Because I bought the what was it called?
There was some sort of MCT bundle, wasn't there?
There was. That's not what I bought though. I bought the it's normally $50. Humble Bundle had it for 25, and it gave you like 650 plex, a month of game time, 8 skins, and a multiple character training certificate.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it was actually worth buying, and I bought 2 of them, so I have to buy 1 more to take care of the 3rd account. But yeah, it was worth it, and I have the MCTs sitting somewhere. I can't remember where, and those are worth like the amount of 500 plex.
hopefully once I actually make my bonus from the new job, I'll be able to sort myself out again.
That would be a good thing.
But, you know, I'm still making kills with suboptimal skills.
Oh no, absolutely.
They're just all fucking nail biters when I do it.
Right.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to cut 2 clips out of the stream today. Nice. Honestly, I thought that Kestrel was gonna run away from me. He burned out of my point range. I totally forgot my micro warp drive was off. I'm like, how the fuck is he getting so far away? I'm straight up approaching him, and he didn't warp off. He was apparently waiting for me.
Mistakes were made.
Hey, they weren't all my mistakes either. Yay!
That's what's important.
Warp drive active.
I was once asked, what is best in life? And I answered, crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentations of your podgantry. I'm running out of things from Vegas to talk about.
I totally hit the wrong button.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, no, I moved on Mumble. No, I was gonna say, I was saying, Creama's been really quiet.
Yeah, sorry about that. I've been watching the weather.
Like looking out your window, watching the weather, or watching the Weather Channel.
Either one is absolutely riveting stuff.
Either one is the right answer.
A little bit of both.
It's like, is this really what's going on? Let me check the TV. No, wait, let's look outside. Oh, wait, no, the satellite map changed. Let me just double check this and here and the shape of that. Oh, wait, no, they got it wrong.
Till a little bit ago, we had a tornado warning or watch or something.
Okay. Good excuse to be watching both.
Yeah, see, tornadoes are the reason that I live in a portion of the country where my face hurts for 3 months out of the year.
Warp drive active.
So you know what? I always kind of like to do this little speculation thing. You know, the Angel Cartel ship capitals are coming out soon, right?
Oh, yeah, I got to see the concept art for those. Those are awesome.
Everybody did, because they were leaked onto Reddit a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, well, here's the pictures you've already seen anyway. They were still
Pretty
awesome.
much. Oh, no, they absolutely look amazing. So you know how the roll bonuses for Angel Cartel ships are like, they get like a damage bonus, and I think, and then they get enters, warp, and warps faster than ships of the similar size. Well, I'm expecting them to give damage bonuses to, you know, the ships. But what do you think they'll do about the whole warp roll bonus? Because it's like, you know,
Warp drive active.
it really doesn't help the capitals. Maybe entering warp is good, but the warp speed itself, not as good.
Ooh,
Especially for a dread.
I know what it should be. Jump range.
That's what I was thinking. It might have something to do with jump range, or maybe kind of like what the Rorqual and Jump Raiders have, where 90% reduction in fatigue gained.
Well, hear me out on where I'm going with this. The angel ships have always had, you know, a warp, has always had a warp bonus. And I was watching the Physics of New Eden 101 course that Max Singularity put on at Eat Vegas, and he sort of explained the difference between warp drive and jumping and all of that good stuff. Okay, so
Right.
I'm gonna give a quick and dirty description to those who have not seen the presentation. So basically, the ship operates in both normal space and what they're calling hyperspace. Hyperspace is a think of it like the warp in 40K. It is attached to real space, but it is not real space. So whenever you warp, you take your ship into a warp tunnel carved through hyperspace in this subspace realm, what we're going to call below the plane of reality.
Subspace. Just call it
Right.
subspace.
Subspace. Well, cloaking devices also work the same way. Only instead of taking you down to what they call warp depth, where you go for interplanetary flight, you go just right below the surface of normal space, just into the very barest touchings of subspace. So you're somewhat phased out, but you're still somewhat attached to reality. And jumping from Stargate to Stargate, or from a jump generator to a Sino, goes at jump depth, which is quote unquote below warp depth. It's deeper into subspace. So let's say that the warp field generators on Angel ships are more easily able to go into subspace.
More
But
advanced than the usual, than the
exactly,
standard.
maybe their capacitor computers make better calculations. Maybe they have better anchoring points. Maybe they have some sort of system that actually is able to see the point that you're warping to before you actually get there and make better calculations, allowing you to travel faster.
Their
Well,
computers are psychers.
yes, their computers are psychers. And we're going to take this big, massive heresy, and instead of just making it travel through warp faster, we're now going to make it travel through warp farther by extending the range that the ship can operate at jump depth before, smashing into the depth barrier and becoming oblivion.
Now, I like the idea, but here's why I don't think they'll do that. That would require them to set up a new format of math and new coding in order to take care of it. Because if they don't have a reduction in the fatigue generation, then it's gonna gain more fatigue than I think the server is capable of handling right now. So I think what it's more than likely going to be is like maybe a 40% or 50% reduction in fatigue gained. And it kind of helps out because the Angel, in the lore, the Angel Cartel are legitimate pirates. If you've ever played Homeworld, they are the Tydani. They are completely they don't, they really don't have a centralized area that they really base out of like you would expect for others. So I could see them maybe deciding to give them jump fatigue reduction, and it would actually play into the lore of the Angel Cartel. Plus, then they don't have to fuck around with code. And I think I speak for everyone when I say thank fucking God they won't have to do that.
Well, that's one way to write it off in the lore, but there's another way to look at it too. Angel ships look different than standard pirate vessels for a very specific reason. Let's take the Guristas, for example. Hell, you could even use the Blood Raiders for this. The Guristas and the Blood Raiders came from standard factions, and they adapted that standard factions technology to suit their purposes. The Sanchez Nation created their own technology and their own tech tree, and they're completely different, and that's why they look like emo men on parade just after visiting Hot Topic on a 50% off sale. But the Angels got their technology and reversed engineered it from the Jovians. So they're on a completely different level technologically speaking. And these new capital ships is just the next evolution in that reverse engineered technology. Now they're taking this reverse engineered Jovian technology and they're upscaling it, allowing them to not only travel through warp faster, but now travel farther through the cosmos using their jump drives, farther and or faster than any other capsuleer type ship will ever be able to go, because they're using that reverse engineered Jovian technology, and the Jovians have been doing this for a very, very long time.
Which is a fair point, and from a lore standpoint, I would agree, but we're not talking about the lore really. We're more talking about what CCP maybe not can do, but is willing to do. And are they willing to mess around with the code for jump? You know, accruing fatigue and whatnot, because there's no telling what they might mess up.
Honestly, I don't see how big a difference this would be. It's pretty much the same way as handling jump fatigue for covert op ships. In fact, why don't you just use the same type of system? Slightly extended jump ranges, slightly diminished jump fatigue timers. They wouldn't have to change any code. They would just give it the same code that it gives Black Ops ships. Now you
I mean,
have a
that could
capital
that could
fleet that
work.
can support your Black Ops fleet, which is even cooler.
That would actually be kind of terrifying if you think about it. Oh man, we're being lopsed on. Okay, let's drop capitals on them. Oh god, there's capitals.
They're everywhere! Oh, it's so fucking evil. I can't wait.
Angel Cartel capitals can take Black Ops bridges
Oh god, I can see
or
it
covert
now.
sinos.
How the fuck would you jump that through a pig? How would you jump a Titan through a pig?
No. I'm saying they could use the covert sinos.
Oh, for their own
Yep.
jump drives. Holy shit. There's a covert sino on grid. Oh, it's just some bombers. Don't worry about it. Oh, there's fucking dreadnoughts here, man. Is that a Titan? That's a Titan. Oh my god, it's a Titan.
That could actually be kind of funny. I kind of want this to happen now. CCP, make this happen.
CC, please.
What's great is we know that the Serpentis and Angels Cartel Satoyus are going to be in Angel space.
Well, yeah, the Angels work for Serpentis. I don't see why not.
Serpentis works for Angels.
Really? I could have sworn the Guardian
Yeah.
the Guardian Angels were, protecting the Serpentis cartel.
No, Serpentis ships are based off of, or at least through the Angel Cartel.
I'm gonna have to look over that shit again because apparently I've been getting shit wrong.
So sad with you. But yeah, that would actually be kind of cool to see. It's like covert sinos up and Angel Cartel carriers.
Place your heads between your knees and kiss your bums goodbye.
That could actually be that could be funny. That could actually be a really amusing for the 1 or 2 months that it lasts, and then CCP nerfs it because it's too broken.
Yeah. Always ruining our good fun.
Well, if CCP wasn't doing that, you might actually be having fun in the game.
What are you talking about? I've already had fun. I killed a fucking Kestrel and what was this other one?
Well, I haven't, but that's because I'm waiting on tests to frickin'...
Oh yeah, and the Dramiel.
Yeah. I kind of want to take a Daredevil out. I might actually take a Vengeance out. Active tank my Vengeance. Let's do this. Bring out the Asclepians. Active tank the Vengeance. Let's do it.
Alright, well, I am running out of things to talk about, and we are reaching that 2-hour mark. So, we're going to go ahead and go into shoutouts, and contrary to how we normally do things, where we start off at the bottom for shoutouts, we're going to start off at the top, because we started off at the bottom for intros. Grandma, wake up! It's time for shoutouts!
I got nothing.
Grandma's got nothing, everybody. He hates everyone equally.
I'm just
Well,
getting
that's-
back into playing.
That's the way to live.
Exactly. Lock up everything that moves, and if it doesn't kill you, then it deserved to die.
Sounds like a good policy to me.
That's how I live, unless I'm at 30-something% structure, in which case I GTFO real fucking quick. Is that a Punisher? Oh, nope. Bye.
Not anymore.
That is a speck behind my ship as I warp the fuck away. Spectre.
Do I have? You know what? I'll do shoutouts for to Bond and Blitzkrieg, and I hope they really are enjoying their new alliance. Sad I can't be with them, but hey, what you gonna do?
Things happen. All right, and for me, I want to give a shout out to August Marauschnig. And hold on, who's the other guy? Will Cole for kindly sacrificing their Dramiel and Kestrel, respectively, upon the altar of entertainment. I also want to give a shout out to my bros in Mercure Enterprises. I think Mercure Enterprises is recruiting. I'm not officially a recruiter with them right now. That's because I'm recruiting for my own corporation, the loosely organized collective of outcasts. You can find us in Loco Pub. Loco is spelled L0CO because somebody actually had Loco as, the 4 letters already taken. Damn them. In any case, Loco Pub, where you can find me, and I hope to see your application soon because I need some good bros. We're gonna go fuck some people up. Come on, guys, let's go. With that said, for Spectre, Grima, and myself, this is Manny Bothans reminding you that Manny Bothans died to bring you this broadcast. Fortunately, his medical clone is somewhere nearby.